Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. So, got around to seeing something fairly new. It's been out for maybe a month now, but like I said, I've had to kind of limit my spending for a little bit, so had to take a short break from movies. But I finally got back around to the theater, so I'm able to see a couple new things, and I'm playing catch up again from earlier in the month or last month. So today's movie is Storks. So what did I think of Storks? It was kind of cute, but at the same time, it's just another one of those animated films where they're just trying to play to a certain market, and it works to a degree, but at the same time, they could have done more with this story than what they did. But other than that, I didn't really think it was that bad. So what is the movie about overall? It delves into the history of storks delivering babies, and it tells that as technology progressed and civilization advanced, it got more dangerous for storks to deliver babies. There was more like planes, there was more skyscrapers, things like that, so it made it really hard for them to navigate. And when they're carrying precious cargo like a living baby, it became very dangerous. So they got out of delivering babies and started delivering products for this online store called cornerstore.com. So basically they're the drones of Amazon, I guess. And the whole baby thing kind of got to the last straw and finally came to an end when one of the storks fell in love with one of the babies and didn't really want to deliver it. He wanted to keep it. And they were trying to get it back from him. And the little homing beacon thing that kind of tells where the baby's supposed to be delivered to ended up getting broken. So for the first time in forever, they weren't able to meet a delivery. And they decided that was the end of it. They couldn't take that chance with babies anymore. So they shut it down and opened up the online store. So this orphan has been living at the warehouse, I guess, and working for the company for the past 18 years. It's her 18th birthday, and they're like, well, now she's legally an adult, we can finally get rid of her. The boss is moving up to becoming the CEO of the company, and he's going to promote their top delivery stork to the new boss. But in order to get this new job, he has to fire and set free this 18-year-old girl that they've had living there for the last 18 years. So he goes down to fire her, and he just gets to the point where he can't bring himself to do it, so he puts her in charge of mail sorting. Basically, the idea is that they haven't received a letter in years, so she'll just sit in this office and do nothing. And he just tells you, you gotta stay here, don't ever come out. And I think he only had to keep her there for like 3 days or something, so, because he was getting promoted on like Monday, and it was like Friday, so he would have had to keep her there through the weekend. And then he would have been promoted to boss and probably could have brought her out and had her doing other things and whatnot. The main reason he's trying to keep her hidden is because she's kind of clumsy and tends to screw things up when she's trying to help. And they even show like the sales graph where when she's out sick or on vacation or something, their sales are up, and as soon as she comes back and tries to help, their sales plummet. So he's just trying to keep her out of the way until he gets promoted to boss, and then he can kind of bring her back in and do something else with her and try to find a place for her. So she's in charge of letter sorting, and there's no letters coming in, and then finally one day a letter shows up, and this little kid had wrote to the storks as his parents saying they wanted a new baby. Well, as we later find out, the storks received these letters for a long time, and they've just been piling them in the baby room and never actually processing them. Well, this girl gets this letter, and she takes it over to the department, and instead of just throwing it in the pile of letters that are already there, which she doesn't see at first, she inserts it into the machine, which is what you're supposed to do with them when you receive them, and it gets processed into a baby. So, of course, the stork who's been hiding her finally realizes what she's doing and goes to try and stop her. And now they're stuck with this baby, and he says, okay, well, it's Friday, I can deliver the baby, and then be back here by Monday, and no one will ever know the difference, and I'll still get promoted to boss, and everything will be fine. Well, in the process of this baby being created, his wing was dislocated, so he couldn't fly. So the girl says, well, I have this plane that I was going to use one day to actually help deliver packages for the company. We can use it to deliver the baby. So then it sets out on this adventure of them trying to deliver this baby to its family. And it's met with different issues along the way, blah, blah, blah. It's about how you expect a movie to play out. Of course, like I said, it plays out like you would expect. Eventually, by the end, they've delivered the baby. All the storks realize that they miss delivering babies, and the big CEO guy kind of gets booted out of the company. They get rid of the delivery warehouse thing, which why they couldn't keep both, I don't know. But they end up processing all the letters by the end, delivering all the babies, and it kind of starts to wrap up the film, and you're like, wait, they're not going to do the obvious and have the 18-year-old girl finally reconnect with her family? Spoilers, they do. Eventually, the stork who didn't want to give her up shows back up, and he's like, I've been trying to collect all the pieces of your homing beacon for years, and I finally have them all. I can finally deliver you to your family. And she's nervous at first, but he's like, I'm right here beside you, you'll be okay. So she gets to meet her family by the end. And it's a happy ending because it's a kid's movie, what do you expect? And yeah, that's pretty much the movie. Like I said, sorry if I spoiled the big ending, but if you're watching a kid's movie, you probably already know how it ends unless you're a kid, in which case, why are you on YouTube watching my videos? So yeah, that's kind of it for Storks. What would I give it as far as a star rating? I don't want to rate it too low because, like I said, it wasn't a bad film. It just wasn't anything new that we haven't seen before. Yeah, we're dealing with storks now instead of toys or cars or other animals or whatever, but overall it's still kind of the same thing. There's this formula for kids movies. Apparently it works for kids, and they just keep following it, and it's almost like they're afraid to do anything new anymore. Like, that was the thing about movies like Toy Story and things like that when they first came out, is they were new and kind of revolutionary for their time, and now it's just kind of like, yeah, we got this formula that works, let's just do this over and over and over again. So because of that, I don't know, maybe like a 2.5. Honestly, it's just kind of a middle-of-the-road film, but I would have liked to have seen more done with it because from what the preview showed, it looked like it could have had a lot more fun going on, but they end up turning it into just their basic, everyday storyline. So, gotta knock it down a little bit for that. Overall, the babies were adorable, by the way. If you like babies, they're just kind of like so goo-goo gaga that you're like, aw. Even the characters in the movie keep doing it every time the babies make a noise or something. They're like, aw, and you can't help but all along with them. So, yeah, 2.5, I guess, works for me. Middle of the road, but it gets bumped down because lack of originality. I mean, come on, do something different. Challenge us. Make it interesting. I'm not saying you gotta be sausage party about it, but come on, something. So, yeah, there you have it. That's my review of Storks. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are in the description. And until next time, we'll see you after the credits.